Welcome back to Mac Talks of Football, and it is a match day 8 in a Serie A after the international break, and we are here to make our predictions for that. So let's get ahead and make our predictions. The first game of this weekend is Genoa versus Bologna. It is 18th versus 13th. Now both these teams are not really in a good sort of form. Genoa, they have played in the last 5 games. They have lost 4 of them. Bologna, on the other hand, they are undefeated in their 5 games, but 4 of them have been a draw. So you really don't know. They are not really able to get the win and they get the 3 points. Both of them have just won once in the league this season, and Genoa know that if they get the win, they are currently at the 18th. But if they win, they are going to be at the same points as Bologna, because as I said, they have had 5 draws out of the 7 games that they have played. So it is going to be a very close game. Genoa are at home. What it is, they are coming back after the international break, and I think it is going to be another draw for Bologna. I don't think any of them win. I think it will be a draw, and I think it will be a low scoring draw. I'm going for a 1-all draw between Genoa and Bologna. The next game is Como versus Parma. It is 14th versus 15th. Now Como, they are sort of you can see that their squad, the amount of players that they brought in, they are sort of starting to gel in, and you can see the results that are starting to get in. I have said that even in the early games where they were not getting the wins, they were not getting the results, you could see the performance starting to show off, and it is now starting to bring fruits. They have won 2 of their last 5 games, even though the other 3 have been defeats, including the defeat against Napoli just before the international break. But you can see the positive things at Como. Parma, on the other hand, they have not won in their last 5 games, and the performances are not really good. And I think it is going to be a very tough season for them. They drew against Bologna just before the international break, and I think they are gonna go a step worse this time, because I think Como being at home, I think they are gonna have just enough for Parma. I think it will be a close game, but I think Como win this one 2-1. Next game is Milan versus Udinese. It is a 6th versus a 5th. It is going to be a very close game. Milan, they were they were on a really good run. They had won 3 in a row just before the international break. That until that defeat against Fiorentina, they lost that game. Before that, they were on a really good run, and that has sort of brought them back into the upper half of the table. They are playing against an Udinese side who themselves are playing a really good football. Nobody really expected them to be so high in the table just before the season, but they are playing really good football. They have won 3 of their last 5 games, but the other 2 have been defeats. So it's either win or a lose for them. They are going away to Milan. I think it will be a very close game. I think it will be a tight game, but I just don't see a winner out of these 2 in this game. If I'm being very honest with you, it is very rare that you get a draw in Serie A this season, because everybody is either winning or losing. But I think this game is gonna end up in a draw. I think it will be a close game. I think it will be a goalless draw as well. I'm going for a 0-0 game between Milan and Udinese. The next game is Juventus versus Lazio. It is a 3rd versus a 4th. Now Juve, despite being a 3rd in the league, they have just won once in their last 5 games. The other 4 have been draw, and I'm not really a fan of Thiago Motta. I'll be very honest with you. The way he's playing, like it is becoming very very hard for Milan to score the goals. They are trying to create a lot of chances. They have a lot of possession, but they are not able to convert those chances. And even the chances that they get, like there are very few chances they are creating. There is no real not that much creativity. They are not able to create that much in the games, and I think that is a bit concerning. They are playing against a Lazio side who have been really good. They have won 3 of their last 5 games, and they're scoring good goals in those games, and I think it will be a very good game. And I'm going I think Juventus are going to lose this game. I think Juve are, the way they are set up, even though they are very good defensively, I just think Lazio might have that some special spark that they are going to go ahead and get the win. It will be a close game, but I think Lazio get the win. I'm going for a 1-0 away win for Lazio. The next game is Empoli versus Napoli. It is 10th versus 1st. Now Empoli, they are they had a really good start of the season, but they have sort of now slid down to at the they're sliding down at the bottom half of the table. But they would hope that they can stay in this mid-table position. They are currently 10th, as I said, and they are still doing much better than a lot of us expected them to be. So they would hope that they don't get dragged down further into that relegation battle, because it is quite tight, and they know just a couple of bad results and they will be right down in there, because the point difference is not that much, so they would hope that they can stay in this area. They were going undefeated, even though they were not winning, but they were going undefeated in the league. They, in the last 5 games, they have lost just once. That was just before the international break against Lazio. They won once, but three of them were draws, so they were getting the points. That is why they were staying in this mid-table area. They are playing against a Napoli side who are first at the table. They have won 4 of their last 5 games. They're looking really good at the moment, and I think their good run is gonna continue, even though they are coming back after the international break and they are playing away. I still think they are gonna win and they are gonna get the job done. I think they are gonna win it convincingly as well. I'm going for a 2-0 win, 2-0 away win for Napoli. The next game is a Venezia versus Atalanta. It is a 20th versus 8th. Venezia, they are not doing really that good. They have just won once in their last 5 games, and their performances have not been that good. They are no like the a lot of us expected them to have a bad season. They were gonna be, there was gonna be trouble for them, and they are the way they are playing. The performances have been a testament to that. They are playing against an Atalanta side who, in my opinion, are really underperforming. Like, I predicted them to finish second. I thought they were going to be the side that were going to challenge Inter for the title, but they are all over the place. Like, they have just once or twice in their last 5 games, and every week like that, you cannot really predict what Atalanta are going to do. They have been so inconsistent this season, but the thing is that it's still early on in the season, and the point difference between them and the teams at the top is not that much. I think 3 points separate them and the top team at the table, Napoli. So that's how close the points are at the moment in Serie A. But I think it is going to be a very tight game. Atalanta, as I said, you cannot really expect what they are going to do, and I just don't know why. I think they are going to draw points again this weekend. I think Venezia are not going to get the win, but I think they are going to get something out of this game, and I'm going for a draw. I think it is going to be a draw. I'm going for a 1-1 draw between Venezia and Atalanta. The next game is a Lecce versus a Fiorentina. It is a 17th versus 11th. Now Lecce, they are not doing really good. They are winless in their last 4 games. They have won. They have lost the last 2 games as well. They lost to Lazio just before the international break, and it is not looking really good for them. Sorry, they lost to Udinese just before the international break, and the way they are playing, it is not really something that excites you. It does not fill you up with confidence. They are playing against a Fiorentina side who started really bad but sort of have made a comeback. They have won twice in their last 3 games, including that win over Milan just before the international break. So they are sort of going towards the upward trajectory, and I think they are gonna get the win again this weekend as well. I think Fiorentina are gonna win. I think it will be it will be a tough game. It will be a close game, but I think Fiorentina are just gonna edge it. I'm going for a 2-1 win for Fiorentina. The next game is Cagliari versus Torino. It is 16th versus 7th. Cagliari, it has been a really bad start to the season. They are right at the bottom in the moment, but they had a really good result just before the international break, drawing against Juventus, and they would hope that that sort of a form, that momentum is still there with them, that the high that they got from drawing Juventus, they could carry to this game as well. They are home at well, so it is gonna help them in that regard as well. They are playing against Torino side who are 7th, but they are tied on 11 points with 2 other teams at 5th and 6th, and they know that both of them are playing against each other, so it's a big chance for Torino to get the win and climb up again over them. They are playing they played Inter just before the international break, and it was quite a close game. It ended as a defeat for Torino, but it was a 3-2 defeat. So as I said, quite a close game, but they would hope that this weekend they can get the job done and they can get the 3 points. And I am going for another away win. I think Torino are gonna win. I'm going for a 3-1 win for Torino. Moving on to the next game, and it's a big one. It is Roma versus Inter. It is 9th versus 2nd. Roma, they are undefeated in their last 5 games, but they have just won twice. They drew just before the international break against Monza. I think that was a blow to them. They should have gone ahead and get that win, but they drew. So now they would hope that they can get something out of this game. They are playing against an Inter side who have won 3 out of their last 5 games. They won against Torino as well. They are not at the top. They are the champions currently, but they are second in the league, and they would want to put win this game and put a pressure on Napoli, and not let them get away from them, as let them extend the lead at the top. But I think it will be a tough game. It will be a very close game. Roma, they have spent a good amount of money. They have brought in a good players, and the expectations are quite high. They have already sacked their manager in De Rossi. They have a new guy in, and the pressure is going to be on him as well, on the manager as well. So I think it will be a close game. I think it will be a high scoring game, but I think it is going to end up in another draw. And I think Roma are going for their fifth draw. Unfortunately for Inter, they are going to drop the points here. I'm going for a 2-all draw between Roma and Inter. And the last game of the weekend in Serie A match day, it is Verona versus Monza. It is 12th versus 19th. Verona, they have had they are doing a lot better than most of us expected. They have won twice in their last 3 games, including the win against Venezia just before the international break. They are at home as well, so they would want to continue that momentum. They are playing against a Monza side who are still winless in the league. They are the only team who have not won a single game in Serie A till now, so they have that pressure going on as well. And as I say, they are still winless. They have not won a single game. They have lost 3 of their last 5 games as well, and I think they are going to lose another one. I'm going for a home win this time. I think Verona are going to win it, and I think it will be a close game, a tight game, but Verona in the end edge it. I'm going for a 1-0 win for Verona. And with that, my predictions are for match day 8 in Serie A are complete. I will see how many of them are correct and how many of them are wrong, and how many points I can get. 3 points if my predictions are completely right, and 2 points if the predictions are right but the score is not right. We will see how many of them I can make at the end of the weekend when I do the review video. You guys can play along with me, make your predictions in the comment section below, and we'll see how many of you guys I get the make the correct predictions as well. And let me know, do you guys agree with my predictions or not, or do you think I am completely off the radar? That's it from me. Like the video, share it as well, click on the notification bell, and of course subscribe to the channel. We are trying to get to 400 subscribers before the month of October ends, so please go ahead and subscribe and help us achieve our target, and help us grow the channel as well. So yeah, until next time, bye bye.